Hello and welcome to etbfsi.com. My name is Amol Dethe and I'm in conversation with Venkatesh R from DCB Bank. Sir, welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, Amol. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much, sir. There are obviously very interesting things that I would like you to tell us because HR is a very, very crucial operation in these times when we all are working from the lockdown. HR is actually transforming policies, helping their employees, and trying to see how the output is also meaningful and constructive. Most of the banks, most of the financial also institutions are also following the kind of same trend in a different manners altogether. But the one learning, which everybody have today is work from home can be utilized. Work from home can be considered as one of the major policy in HR. How do you look at it? I mean, let's hope that COVID-19 will just go away. We will all be back on the track very soon. And when we consider that, that everything is fine, are you going to consider work from home as one of the important policy going ahead? How are you going to structure that?
So you rightly put this question, Amol, because this is something which is going on in the minds of people. I would actually add that at this point in time, based on, let's say, a 2-month observation, it seems that work from home has really worked well because, many people who could actually not operate out of a remote or a VPN
Right.
connectivity, they've actually have started working on that. And similarly, on security and other front, there are a lot of measures that have been taken that has actually catapulted what you call something which was not considered to be a normal. People have said that this can actually work. For example, in our call center, we would have 200 plus people, but at this point in time there are about 156 plus people are actually operating from home, taking calls from the customer on their home in a secured manner. Similarly, the entire technology team today is actually working from home. We have close to 99% of the technology team is actually working from home, so much so that our entire data center activities are being run
Right.
by a remote kind of an operation. Having said that, if you give an option to people today, all of them, if the lockdown is really relaxed, and all of them would like to actually go back to work, because typically, you look at it as a social interaction also gives energy to people.
Right.
Working at home all the time or working in office all the time, I think too much of everything is or extreme of everything is not liked by people. So if at this point in time I talk, if lockdown ends, everyone would want to go back to work. I think the
Right.
balance of both is very critical. And rather than telling that it is compulsory either work from home or a compulsory work from office, if you are able to give flexibility to people that sometimes you can operate work from home and sometimes work from office, that is something would actually go a long way in building or enhancing employer brand, because we all want flexibility. There are moments where we would want to work from home, but there are times where certain work can not only be done. I say,
Right.
you have work that could get done easily.
Sounds good, but again, a small cross question here. Considering the banking space, which is known as a very, very crucial for the entire economy, but on the other hand, it's very important in terms of security because ultimately you're dealing with the people's money. So, in terms of that, do you think that the infrastructure is really in a better position? Are you going to make some changes in those sides so that people, those who want to be flexible and work from home, need to be structured well?
Yeah, I think, very good question again, because security, customer confidentiality, data
Right.
security are something are heavily, regulated, as well as, rightfully for the right purpose. And the banks have to make sure that there is sufficient assurance process with regard to, having tools, techniques,
Right.
and practice all together. And something that we felt, 2 or 3 areas we felt whether our VPN capacity itself will be good enough to take the load. And I'm
Right.
happy and pleased to inform you that close to about 33 to 34% of people today can actually operate from home using VPN technology, and it has not actually put any kind of a pressure.
Right.
Similarly, on a cyber security or a data security perspective, we have sufficient checks and balances in place, which is in terms of data leakage prevention systems being in place, or VPN security, where you don't allow internet interfaces to happen. And also, some of these functionalities or some of these privileges have been given by carefully choosing those people who would actually, monitor this well and put a good use to what has been given to them as a privilege. At the same time, I think more and more tools that would emerge, which will work towards making it a lot easier, more secure, and healthy for both organization and the employees.
Quite interesting. Now, since we've completed more than 2 months, in fact, in the lockdown, and we don't know how the situation will be. Obviously, we all are optimistic and positive. But what I have seen is a lot of BFSI companies have already started hiring people virtually. Nobody wanted to take a break in terms of, okay, if there is a lockdown, will not work kind of thing. Everybody is in fact working, and they have already started hiring virtually. What I want to ask you, sir, here is, have you hired people virtually? If yes, what kind of challenges did you face? And is there a what you can say a difference in decision making? Because perhaps you have to analyze a person when you meet him in a different manner, and here you are not going to meet him. You are going to decide everything virtually. So how did you actually take decisions over there?
So I talk, Amol, first about myself, okay, and
Sure.
how do I see personally, and I would see
Yeah.
how is the team actually coping up. So for me, when I do an interview, it is very important for me to read the body language, because that is what tells me, what the person is telling. I mean, it is often said that men invented, language because body refused to tell a lie. Okay, so from that perspective, it's for me, it is always, being in person or doing an interview in person has always been very interesting, because it helps me to, assess a person little better. Having said that, today, some of the video tools or a video conferencing tools that are available, they actually provide a lot of sharper images, and that can also capture the body language per se as well, a lot more effectively, or as effectively as you would actually be able to do when you are physically meeting the person. So our team has been using different video formats of interview, right from the WhatsApp to other modes of interview. And from an assessment point of view, we are doing some e-assessment, which is either in terms of a questionnaire based or a written exam which is online, and doing some psychometric test of Thomas, etc. Those things are being done online. So to that extent, the team has quickly adapted. It was even happening before, but I would say it has become a lot more frequent, and because you are actually not meeting anybody in office. And I'm pleased to inform you that 100% of the HR team is operating work from home. There is not a single HR person working from office at this point in time. And what is more interesting is that right from payroll to recruitment to processes such as onboarding, this is happening completely online. So much so that the summer training that we want to do for people, it is actually happening on a virtual basis. I explained to you some of the programs that we are doing on training that has taken a virtually, a completely different format altogether. So work has not stopped. Actually, in my view, the
Right.
work has become accelerated, and the same thing is applicable even for recruitment as well. And it has become a lot more efficient, cost saving, because the same person, you would have actually gotten him into the workplace, and then paid for the travel expenses, scheduled interview, done all of that. Today it's virtually costing you nothing. So to that extent, it's been useful, faster, accurate, and has been very, very efficient for us.
The psychometric tests were also used by banks for the credit, but I was not aware whether the HRs are also using that. So how accurate is the result of psychometric tests, and how do you actually conduct that? If you could elaborate on that front.
So we have, we subscribe to some of the, questionnaires, such as I mentioned to you about the Thomas profiling. So we do a DISC assessment. Okay. And then it is a self-assessment questionnaire. So you are given a link. Okay. The employee will go through that link. There would be set of questions. They would answer that. And then the assessment report will actually come to us electronically. And to that extent, you are actually getting a report which is done by the employee himself. And the certain checks and balances that are built into that process is that someone tries to, let's say, be little smart with it and say, I'm gaming it. that is something not possible, because it will throw an error report, because it has been very carefully worked out, so that if someone tries to give too many right answers and there are actually no right answers, there are more intuitive answers people have to give. So that is one method. The other
Okay.
is, in my view, no one method is foolproof in that sense. So it's a combination of 3-4 processes, which is your interview by, let's say, line manager, interview by HR, the self-assessment report, the ref check reports. All of this go as a composite box to actually come into a decision box to say whether yes or no for that employee or not. And effectively, what you are also comparing it with the job that you have in mind, whether there is a
Right.
good fit or not. So you look at 3 fits: organization fit, job fit, and the role fit. So then, it's easier. I think it's more to do with, coming closer to the decision than saying that, look, one method is, good enough for me. When you use multiple methods, then recruitment errors are then reduced in that sense.
Thank you. Thank you.